So CNN is now reporting that there are a whole heap of senators that are not interested in Donald Trump running for re-election. Now I'm going to show you a compilation that we put together in a second, and you're going to love it. First, let me give you the reporting from Manu Raju here. A wide array of House and Senate Republicans are not yet ready to endorse President Donald Trump's bid for a second term, a reflection of the deep uncertainty on Capitol Hill over his political standing amid growing problems at home and abroad. Plus, he's a maniac. So they're like, oh, I don't know if this is going to work out. God knows if he's going to get arrested, indicted, whatever else might happen, impeached. But beyond that, their poll numbers are a disaster. So they're in a no-win situation. I'm going to show you those polls in a minute as well to give you a sense of why they're so equivocal. But understand how unprecedented this is. When you ask the senators and congressmen of that party about their sitting president, and they're like, I don't know, man. I've never seen that. If you had asked the Democrats under Obama, they would have been like, what do you mean, do I support Obama in his re-election? Of course! They would have said it on day one. They would have said it on year one, year two, year three. It wouldn't have mattered. It wouldn't even been close. And even as much of a disaster as George W. Bush is, no Republicans wavered on his re-election in 2004. All right, now more details. In interviews with a cross-section of more than 24 GOP lawmakers, and that's a lot, ranging from rank and file members, conservatives and party leaders, many refused to say they'd back Trump's re-election bid, a surprise declaration given that members of Congress are typically quick to endorse sitting presidents of their own party without hesitation. Hardly any would offer a categorical endorsement of the president. That is stunning. I know we live in stunning times, but I've never seen a party back away from a president that significantly. You're like, Trump, one name so, never heard of him. Now, here's some fun quotes for you guys. John Cornyn, now he's number 2 Republican in the Senate. How could the number 2 Republican in the Senate not support the Republican president? He said, I don't know what the world is going to look like in 2020. Wow, he won't back him. The world, is Trump still president? Is he in prison? I don't know what the world's going to look like in 2020. Wow. He said, but let's say it's not something I've given any thought to. No, Senator Cornyn, you've given a lot of thought to it. And that is you trying to backpedal out of there before you have to say, yeah, of course I'm not going to support him. Look at him, he's a clown. All right, so my favorite quote is from Senator Lamar Alexander. He said, look, I'm focused on opioids. Focused on taking them? What do you think of Donald Trump? I'm focused on opioids, okay? I don't think that's an opiate. Was that Coke? Anyway, so one more quote before we get to the clip. Roger reports, and others said they were still uncertain the president would ultimately stand for re-election, even though the White House and Trump himself have repeatedly said that he would do so, as he's hired a campaign manager, has been raising money and holding campaign rallies in anticipation of 2020. Unlike past presidents who have waited to announce their re-election bids, Trump made clear immediately after taking office that he's running again. God, I love that. They're like, I don't know. By the way, one of the most common quotes from all these Republicans, I don't know that he's running in 2020. I don't know that. It's like, no, I am. I'm running in 2020. I already named my campaign manager. I'm already raising funds. I'm already doing campaign rallies. I'm running. They're like, I don't know that he's running. Trump, what name so? Okay, now our legendary producer, J.R. Jackson, put together this compilation, hilarious compilation of Republican legislators trying to back out of the building when asked if they would support Trump in 2020.
Will you back the President of the United States, Donald Trump, the standard bearer of your party, in his re-election bid?
I did not endorse the president for the Republican nomination.
Yeah, listen, I understand the kind of got you question you're engaging here.
Look, who knows whether President Trump's even going to run.
So I'm going to keep focused on the problems at hand, like the debt and deficit.
Look, we're going to burn time. We could be talking about other things.
Again, I'm focused on working and doing what I do.
I have no idea whether the president runs for re-election, nor what the field will be on the Republican side.
I think it's unusual that members of the media would be talking about the 2020 election in 2018.
And I'm not about to say who I would support for that.
You know it's way too early to be talking about the 20.
I haven't even thought about that election. I'm worried about the midterm elections?
Again, I think it is far too early to make a judgment.
But it's just way too early to even be talking about it.
Talk about what might happen, and at that time is I think premature.
It could be a completely different world by 2020. We have a 2018 election first.
So I think it's way too early to weigh in on who one might support.
If he runs for re-election, are you going to support him?
I want to know who else is in the field.
Well, at least Corker is more honest about it. He's like, no, I might not support him. I want to see who else in the field. The other guys are like, backpedal, 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 backpedal. I got to get out of here. The most telling one was Ron Johnson's calling it a gotcha question. Supporting the president of your own party in his re-election bid is not a gotcha question. That normally would be the easiest question in the world. You'd wonder why they're even asking it, and it would be a definitive 100% and obvious yes. Calling it a gotcha question means, all right, you're trying to put me in a situation where if I support Donald Trump, I'm screwed, and if I don't support Donald Trump, I'm screwed. And that, in fact, is exactly right. So now let me get to the polling. One more quote from Congressman Mark Sanford. It's always funny to say that. Back from the Appalachian Trail, he said, I'm worried about my own race right now. Exactly. They're all worried about their own race right now, and what they see is this. What puts Republicans on Capitol Hill in an awkward spot is the fact that Trump's approval numbers remain rock solid among core GOP voters, standing at 85% among Republicans in a recent Quinnipiac poll. So if they back away from the president and say they're not going to support him, their base will be furious. They could get primaried, lose the primary, or their voters stay at home, get discouraged. So that's a definite lose. Well, how about when they go up for a general election? But if they side too closely with Trump, Raju explains, they risk alienating the broader electorate where his poll numbers have been historically low. So in a lot of the polls, he's in mid-30s, low 30s, and sometimes he struggles to get into the low 40s. The low 40s are a disaster, let alone the 30s. So in a general election, if they back him, they're screwed in the primaries. If they don't back him, they're screwed. And they might also be screwed in the general election, again, if their voters get discouraged and don't show up. They're in an absolute no-win situation. That's exactly where Donald Trump has put them. And that is why they're giving these non-answers, which are hilarious and deeply political. 2020, never thought about it. What's happening in 2020? I don't know. I'm pretty sure you know, and you know how screwed you are. If you become a member of the Young Turks, you'll be saying,
you know, I'm like a smart person.
So do it right now, tytnetwork.com/join. Get the whole Young Turks show every day.